Yeah, I'm definitely a supernaturalist. The Bible doesn't know anything about naturalistic materialists other than to say that they're foolish. To say that they're foolish.
According to the hadith, Muhammad's food would praise him before he would consume it. Bukhari, volume 4, book 56, number 779. Let me read it. I'm not making it up. Now watch. Narrated Abdullah. He goes, I saw water flowing from among the fingers of Allah's apostle, and no doubt we heard the meal, glorifying Allah when it was being eaten by him. Now, I don't know about you, but if my food starts talking back to me, the first thing I'm going to do is look for a doctor or a psychologist. Food would praise him before he would consume it. Now, I don't know about you, but if my food starts talking back to me, the first By the way, let me just, and again, I don't mean this to mock, but I just want to illustrate my point. These teachings, no rational person can accept. And again, it may seem funny, but I'm being realistic. I wanted to see, is this what you're calling us to follow? Seriously?
Okay. Number one, I believe a snake-serpent talk, Genesis 3:1. Yes, I do believe that. Because you see, the ability to speak and communicate is not simply a naturalistic evolutionary development. We are made in the image of God. God is able to communicate. We are able to communicate because God desires to communicate with us. The lower animals are not given this same capacity for communication in the normal situation. But the only thing that could be embarrassing about this is if you actually believe in such things as miracles. That there are rare and unusual times where God, for his purposes, intervenes and suspends natural law. Now, in this particular situation, prior to the fall, we were given very little information concerning the nature of a serpent, for example, or what the capacity of such a creature might be. But the point is, this is a supernatural incident. And I am not embarrassed by believing the supernatural because I believe Jesus rose from the dead.
Jesus was not only raised from the dead physically, but according to the book of Acts, he ascended physically into heaven.
I believe God created the universe. And if he has a reason and a purpose to allow for the natural, normal state of things to be altered so as to bring about a special event, that's God's right. He can do that whenever he chooses to do so for his purposes and in accordance with his character. And so, in the incidents of the fall of man, there was an interaction between the woman and what is called the serpent, and there was communication between them. Now, I don't know the nature of that communication in the sense of how this speech took place or anything else, but yes, there's no question that this took place. And unless you're a rabid fundamentalist, naturalistic materialist, which most atheists are, even though they've never really thought through how they could possibly defend that, it's just an assumption, it's a presupposition on their part. then you wouldn't have any objection to that. Yeah, I'm definitely a supernaturalist. The Bible doesn't know anything about naturalistic materialists other than to say that they're foolish.
Believe they're a talking animal?
Oh, yes, I do. The Bible tells me there are. A donkey talked, right? The serpent talked.
That's right.
John chapter 2 opens up with a miracle of Christ. He changes water into wine.
Yeah, I'm definitely a supernaturalist. The Bible doesn't know anything about naturalistic materialists other than to say that they're foolish.